We continue with this weather impact alert overnight and through the day here tomorrow as we are tracking Helene that made landfall in Florida. The center of the storm now pushing into South Georgia, and then it'll be middle Georgia and then the metro Atlanta area. So from now until those early morning hours and then through about 9 o'clock is when we're really going to see some big time changes moving in. The issues that we've been dealing with so far have been rain, and a lot of it. You've been seeing some of the evidence of that with the flooding that we've had around our area, and we have additional flood warnings that are in effect. First, before I get to those, I want to just show you on radar where we have green, it's lighter rain. Where we have the yellows and oranges and reds, it is the heavier rain. You see some of that in northwest Georgia, also down I-85 as you head into areas of Troup County near LaGrange. Some of that moderate rain in Atlanta, another band here of moderate to heavy rain to the south and to the east of us. That's about to feed in, and that's going to be the story for the rest of the night. We'll see more and more waves of the moderate and heavy rain moving in. I'm taking the radar data off here just for a moment because I know it's kind of hard to see the green polygons. This is where we have these flash flood warnings. More and more counties are being added into these warnings. We have this one that's over the metro area. This particular one right here, that's right over the heart of the metro area, is what happens is when they issue flash flood warnings, it can be a regular flood warning, or they can tag it with considerable damage, or even a tag with catastrophic damage. This one is tagged as considerable, and that's why many phones earlier tonight went off, because it triggered the weather emergency alert system there on your phones. So that's why this warning is showing up here. But then we have the other flash flood, part of that flash flood warning there. That's the first tier. It goes all the way down into parts of Upson County. Then we have this wave of counties in a flash flood warning there on the west side. A new one issued, including Meriwether County and on down to the south there, parts of the Coweta County area. So a lot of us are in flash flood warnings now. We're going to see more counties added to these flash flood warnings very soon as well. And here you can see those waves of rain that are moving in. We had the one through Atlanta a little while ago. That's the one in North Georgia now. We have a little bit of a break with lighter rain here now, but don't get used to it, because here's another band that's going to keep moving in. So we'll see more and more of these bands of moderate and heavy rain, and that's just going to intensify even more as that core of Helene is continuing to push up into our area. Doppler radar estimating how much rain has fallen, and look at that big swath of red and even some orange beginning to show up here. I'm going to overlay some of these Doppler radar estimates, and this is just over the past 24 hours where we've had almost 5 inches of rain here inside the perimeter. Down on the south side, going from Clayton County over toward areas of Henry County, almost 5 inches of rain. A little lighter amounts over on the west side, and then north right there in Cobb County, East Cobb, 3.3 inches, over into areas of Gwinnett County there, right along 85, about 2.5 inches estimated by radar. But those numbers are just going to keep coming up as we see more and more of these waves that are moving in. And that flow is pushing in from the south. That is what the flow is around that center of circulation down now near the Valdosta area. So here's what we're watching. It's really amazing to see how that storm, remember, at 11 o'clock or just after 11 o'clock is when that center of circulation made the official landfall there in the Big Bend region just to the west of Perry, Florida. And now we were tracking this as it was moving through Valdosta. And now the hardest rain in association with that is pretty much now moving north of Valdosta. So when we go back, if we go back to Angelina, Salcedo anytime over the next hour or so, you're going to see the conditions down in Valdosta getting much better, because look at this, that heaviest rain has moved away and they're getting some drier air beginning to move on into that area right now. So there you see, again, the center is now above the Georgia line. There's Valdosta right here. And now that center of circulation is north of that. And we may even see some breaks in the Valdosta area right now. So it's a really fast moving system that'll continue moving up to the north very quickly. And as it does, it will begin to weaken just a little bit, but we still do believe it'll be hurricane force in Macon and then tropical storm force here in the Atlanta area. Here's the latest advisory. This has been downgraded now to a Cat 2. So at landfall, it was a Category 4 with those winds of 140 miles an hour. Now the winds are at 110. 10. That is still strong, but that's just showing us now that the weakening process is taking place as we have taken the fuel away from this hurricane. These hurricanes are fueled off of warm ocean water there in the Gulf water there, and that water is very warm there. And that's one of the reasons why it experienced that rapid intensification as it was getting closer to land. But now it's overland. We've cut off that fuel source, so now it is weakening, but still moving very quickly to the north-northeast at 26 miles an hour. And so as that weakening process continues and it starts to lose that strength, it's still moving very quickly to the north. That's why we think it's going to hold on to that hurricane strength for a while longer up into Macon and then into Atlanta as that tropical storm status here. I do think this is really going to shift a little bit more over to the east for that center of the circulation. But this is showing Friday morning at 8 o'clock, 65 mile an hour winds there. Again, that's tropical storm force winds, and then continuing to weaken and dying out as it moves up into Tennessee and also into Kentucky, and then we'll start seeing improving weather here during the day as well. Here's what we're watching the warnings. Again, ignore this. Jackson County, you are not in a hurricane warning. There's an issue. We're getting it fixed right now with our vendor. So I'll tell you what this is, kind of inside baseball here. Butts County is a county, but in Butts County we have Jackson, Georgia, which is the city, and it inadvertently was triggered as Jackson County in Georgia. So they're going to fix that. That'll disappear soon. You're not in a hurricane warning in Jackson County. You're in the tropical storm warning, but that hurricane warning is for Butts County, Jasper County, Spalding, Pike, Lamar, also into Upson County, that line down to the south. Those are the areas on the south side, down to Macon and Columbus and southward, where we are going to be experiencing those hurricane force winds. This is a look at the wind speeds. These are the sustained winds, not the wind gusts. When I showed this to you, 30 minutes ago? I was showing 9 mile an hour winds here in Atlanta. Again, not wind gusts. These are sustained winds. Now it's up to 15. I know it's not a lot, but it's just showing that trend that our wind speeds are starting to come up. We have 13 mile an hour winds in Marietta, 16 mile an hour winds in Athens, 17 mile an hour winds in Gainesville. And if you add in the gusts, that is starting to come up a little bit too. So this is what we're watching overnight. Those wind gusts are going to start coming up by 4:30 in the morning. There you see it. 54 mile an hour wind gust in Athens, 47 mile an hour wind gust over in the Eatonton area, 32 mile an hour wind gust in Thomaston. It goes up to 39 mile an hour wind gust in Atlanta at 6:30, then 46 mile an hour wind gust at 7:30 here in Atlanta, still with 56 mile an hour winds in Eatonton, and then 36 in Rome. So really, all of us are going to be very windy. As we've been telling you all along here, we're watching this heavy rain and the flooding. This is going to loosen up the solid ground there that these trees are growing in with their root system. And with these strong winds, that's when we're going to see some trees coming down all around the area, and we're going to have a lot of power outages too. So the wind component of the threats and the impacts, that is just now beginning. As we're seeing those winds just starting to come up, they're only going to get stronger during the continued overnight hours and into the morning as well. And then by tomorrow afternoon, this is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the rain's going to be gone by then, but we're still going to see the winds kicking up. Not as strong as in the morning, but we're talking about 25 to 35 mile an hour wind gusts here tomorrow afternoon, and then calming down more later Friday night and then also into Saturday. But even on Saturday, we're talking about 10 to 20 mile an hour wind gusts, so it'll be staying rather breezy here during the day there too. So these are the look at the main impacts we're watching. The rain totals, now we've already picked up some of this rain where we're talking 3 to 6 inches. We've already picked up a little bit of that now since we've gone through this now, but more is going to be on the way. We're watching the winds. We are not even to the highest part of the wind system yet. That's going to be more between 3 and 9 o'clock in the morning. We're talking about those wind gusts, 50 to 70 miles an hour. Those highest gusts, again, we think will be between 3 and 9. And then that tornado risk, it's that low risk mainly on the east side during these overnight hours. So here's what we're watching, where you see, look at all the yellow, orange, and red. That's indicating moderate to heavy rain continuing to feed in here, that flow showing all of that moisture pushing in from the south, moving up toward the north, and we have that center of circulation to the south side, over between Eatonton and Athens. This is at 6:30 in the morning here, but then wrapping around that with all that heavy rain and all of the wind, and then it moves up to the north and it's out of here. We're talking mid-morning to late morning. The rain's going to be out of Atlanta. It'll be exiting North Georgia, we think, at lunchtime, continuing to move up to the north. There might be a little bit of wraparound moisture there Friday afternoon with a few clouds, but we're going to have a chance to kind of sit back and assess the damage a little bit. But if you are going outside to assess the damage or maybe try to clean up, maybe cut some tree limbs or cut up some trees that have fallen, be aware that those winds will still be gusty and that could cause additional trees or additional tree limbs to fall. So you've got to be careful out there on Friday. Saturday looks a little bit better. The winds will calm down a little bit more. We'll see clouds mixing in with sunshine. We'll hold on to a 20% chance for a shower here on Saturday as we see that wraparound moisture coming in, but nothing widespread or nothing to be overly concerned about. And then on Sunday as well, still just that 20% chance for a shower. As that system stalls out up in Tennessee and into Kentucky, it's not going to totally die out. It does get weaker, but still some of that wraparound moisture can spin just a couple of showers here into our area. I just realized we haven't shown you the 7-day forecast all night long. So let me show it to you out there right now where we have that weather impact alert in effect for Friday. Even though the rain will be ending, we're going to see the winds sticking around, still blustery during the day, and then a 20% chance for a shower Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Highs in the 70s for the weekend, and then back to the lower 80s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday look great. You know, really Monday looks fine too, just that low rain chance. We're back to a low rain chance again on Thursday at about 20% with a high of 80.
All right, Chris, thank you so much.